Are you a California real estate agent who is guessing the listing paperwork? Then you must watch this. Most agents are making at least one mistake in their California listing agreements, but you can master every California listing forms from agency disclosures to MLS rules in just minutes. If you are confused by the CAR forms, compensation rules, or fair housing laws, this is your all-in-one crash course on the listing agreement package. Before you take your next listing in California, make sure you watch this. As a quick reminder, this video has a written presentation to follow along. Don't forget to download a copy from my training website so you can print it, follow along, study it, and make notes. The link to the training website to download this presentation is on the screen and in the video description. And if you enjoyed this training, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. This package provides a deep dive into 4 critical areas. First, we'll thoroughly examine the agency disclosure, often called the AD form, ensuring you understand the nuances of seller's agent, buyer's agent, and dual agency obligations as defined by Civil Code. Next, we'll break down the Residential Listing Agreement, or RLA, which covers the exclusive right to sell contract, detailing compensation, duties, MLS marketing, and other key terms. Our third section focuses on the MLS Addendum, the MLSA, exploring marketing options, the clear cooperation policy, internet opt-outs, and strategies for optimal listing exposure. Finally, we'll cover essential advisory forms, including the Broker Compensation Advisory, Fair Housing, PRBS, Seller's Advisory, and the California Consumer Privacy Act, ensuring you're well-versed in all compliance aspects. The disclosure regarding real estate agency relationship, or AD form, is foundational to your practice. As agents, you have a legal and ethical obligation to ensure clients fully understand the type of agency relationship being established before any substantive real estate discussions begin. This isn't just best practice, it's a requirement of California Civil Code. It must be presented at the outset, not after an agreement is signed. Remember, any agent you have more than a casual relationship with must present this form. And it's crucial to always inform your clients that real estate broker commissions are never fixed by law. They are always fully negotiable between the parties. Understanding the 3 core agency relationships is paramount for every real estate agent. First, a seller's agent acts exclusively for the seller under a listing agreement, owing them a fiduciary duty of utmost care, integrity, honesty, and loyalty. Second, a buyer's agent acts solely for the buyer with their express consent, even if compensation comes from the seller, owing the buyer the same stringent fiduciary duty. Third, a dual agent represents both the seller and the buyer, but only with the full knowledge and written consent of both parties. In this complex role, you owe fiduciary duties to each side simultaneously. Regardless of the type, all agents share common duties to both parties: diligent skill and care, honest and fair dealing, and the disclosure of all material facts affecting a property's value or desirability. Dual agency is a sensitive area requiring clear understanding of your obligations and the strict rules around confidentiality. As a dual agent, you must disclose all known material facts that affect the property's value to both parties. You must maintain your fiduciary duty of care, integrity, and loyalty to each side. Critically, dual agency must be confirmed in writing prior to, or concurrent with, the purchase contract. Conversely, there are things a dual agent cannot do. You cannot disclose the seller's willingness to accept less than the listing price, or the buyer's willingness to pay more than offered, without explicit written permission. Similarly, you cannot reveal either party's financial position, motivations, or bargaining position. These are confidential matters, and unauthorized disclosure is a serious violation under Civil Code, paragraph 2079, T1. The Residential Listing Agreement, or RLA, specifically the exclusive right to sell version, is the cornerstone document that establishes your agency relationship with the seller and outlines the terms of your engagement. This legally binding contract grants you, the broker, the exclusive right to market and sell the property for a specified period. Within the RLA, you will define the listing period, set the initial listing price, and detail how the property will be marketed, including its exposure on the multiple listing service. This agreement empowers you to represent your seller's best interests exclusively and pursue all avenues to achieve a successful sale. Let's discuss compensation, a crucial topic. It's vital to remember and reiterate to your clients that real estate commissions are not fixed by law. They are always individually set by each broker and are fully negotiable between the seller and the broker. Your entitlement to compensation typically arises under three main scenarios. First, with a completed transaction, meaning the property sells and escrow closes. Second, during a continuation period, also known as the protection period, where you may still be entitled to compensation if the property sells to a buyer you introduced within a specified time frame after the listing expires. Third, in cases of seller interference, where the seller's actions prevent the completion of a sale, you might still be owed your agreed-upon fee. A clear understanding of both the broker's authority and the seller's obligations is essential for a smooth transaction. As the broker, you are authorized to order necessary reports and disclosures, implement comprehensive advertising and marketing strategies for the property, and disclose the receipt and offering price of any offers received. You can install a key safe or lockbox and place a for sale sign, and you are authorized to accept and hold deposits on the seller's behalf. In turn, the seller must commit to ordering all required inspection reports within 5 days of the listing start, make the property available for showings, and refer all buyer inquiries directly to you. They must act in good faith to achieve the sale and indemnify you, the broker, for any incorrect or incomplete information they provide. Navigating offer presentations requires skill and adherence to your client's wishes. Sellers have the right to instruct how they wish offers to be presented, and it's your duty to follow those instructions, being mindful of the potential impact delayed presentations can have. Buyer supplemental letters, often personal appeals, can sometimes influence sellers. If a seller relies on such a letter, always advise them to seek legal counsel to understand potential implications. Regarding seller concessions, these are monetary or non-monetary agreements made by the seller to assist the buyer, such as contributing to closing costs. Remember, while concessions might be discussed or even listed in the MLS, they are only legally binding if expressly included in the accepted purchase agreement. When marketing a property, the use of images is paramount, but so are the rules around them. Always ensure you have rights to any images used, and be cautious with digitally altered images, ensuring they accurately represent the property without misleading potential buyers. Key safes and lockboxes are invaluable tools for property access, but their use comes with security considerations. Always ensure they are properly secured and that only authorized personnel have access. Beyond lockboxes, advise sellers on general property security during showings and open houses. It's crucial to discuss the presence and implications of any security devices at the property, and ensure all parties understand their operation and potential impacts on access or privacy. The Multiple Listing Service Addendum, or MLSA, is your guide to how a property is effectively submitted and marketed through the MLS. Understanding these rules is crucial because property exposure directly impacts the number of offers and ultimately, the final sale price. An MLS is a cooperative organization where brokers share property listings. Realtor are owned MLSs adhere to National Association of Realtors (NAR) rules. The benefits of an MLS listing are immense, offering maximum exposure to all agents and buyers within the system, along with reciprocal services. However, opting out of the MLS can severely limit exposure to only your clients, potentially reducing offers and negatively impacting the sales price, as no public marketing can occur without MLS entry. The MLSA outlines several crucial marketing options to discuss with your sellers. Full exposure means the listing is immediately entered into the MLS and publicly marketed. Delayed marketing or limited exposure allows for a short period before public marketing, often used for preparations. A coming soon status provides advance notice of a property entering the market, building anticipation. An office exclusive means the property is marketed only within your brokerage, with no public MLS exposure. It's critical to be aware of the clear cooperation policy from NAR, which mandates that exclusive listings for residential 1 to 4 unit properties must be submitted to the MLS within 1 business day of any public marketing. This policy ensures broad market exposure and prevents pocket listings. The broker compensation advisory is crucial for understanding the intricacies of agent fees. For sellers' broker compensation, always reiterate that fees are fully negotiable, not fixed by law, and are typically earned when escrow closes. There's also the option for additional compensation if a buyer is unrepresented. In dual agency situations, a broker may receive compensation from both sides, but only with full disclosure and consent. For buyer's broker compensation, these fees are also fully negotiable and must be documented in a buyer representation agreement. A written agreement is now required before showing properties, a direct result of the NAR settlement. Brokers cannot receive compensation exceeding the amount in the buyer representation agreement, though buyers can negotiate for the seller to pay their broker as a term of the purchase offer. Remember, unilateral offers of buyer-broker compensation through the MLS are no longer permitted per the NAR settlement. The possible representation of more than one buyer or seller form, or PRBS, clarifies that a brokerage can legally represent multiple buyers or sellers simultaneously. This means that associate licensees within the same firm might be working with competing buyers or sellers, sometimes even without immediate awareness. The form addresses three key points. Firstly, for multiple buyers, your brokerage will not restrict any buyer from making an offer on any property, even if another client from the same firm is interested. Secondly, for multiple sellers, your brokerage will market all listed properties to all prospective buyers, regardless of other listings that might appeal to the same buyers. Lastly, the form emphasizes that offers are not confidential. Without a signed non-disclosure agreement, the existence, terms, or conditions of a buyer's offer may be disclosed to other interested parties. The Fair Housing and Discrimination Advisory, or FHDA, is a fundamental document for every real estate professional. It unequivocally states that all housing in California is available to all persons. Discrimination based on protected characteristics is strictly prohibited under federal and state law, including the Federal Fair Housing Act, California FEHA, the Unruh Civil Rights Act, and the ADA. Protected classes are extensive, covering race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, familial status, sexual orientation, gender identity, source of income, and immigration status, among others. Violations carry severe legal consequences, including civil fines, injunctive relief, compensatory and punitive damages, attorney fees, and the potential loss or suspension of your real estate license. To ensure positive practices, always apply the same objective criteria to all clients and consider using summary documents to compare offers objectively. To clarify fair housing principles, let's look at examples of unlawful versus compliant conduct. Unlawful conduct includes steering buyers to or away from specific neighborhoods based on their protected status, refusing reasonable disability accommodations for a qualified buyer, or engaging in blockbusting, which involves inducing homeowners to sell by creating fear about changing demographics. On the compliance side, always apply the same objective criteria to all prospects, providing complete and objective information regardless of their background. When advertising, carefully avoid any language that implies preference, limitation, or discrimination based on protected characteristics. Your role is to serve all individuals fairly and equally under the law. The Seller's Advisory, or Form SA, underscores that sellers must disclose all known facts that materially affect the property's value, even in as-is sales. This includes required statutory disclosures like the transfer disclosure statement, natural hazard disclosure, lead-based paint for pre-1978 homes, fire hardening, defensible space, military ordnance proximity, and special tax disclosures. Remember, buyers have a tight window, 3 days or 5 if mailed, to terminate after receiving late disclosures. Sellers also have responsibilities for government-required repairs, such as ensuring functional smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and water heater bracing. Local governments might impose additional requirements like low-flow fixtures or pool barriers. Finally, advise sellers on tax and legal implications. Buyers may need to withhold proceeds for tax purposes unless a non-foreign California residency affidavit is signed. Preparing a house for sale involves several crucial steps beyond just cleaning and staging. Thorough inspections are vital. Encourage sellers to get pre-listing inspections to address potential issues proactively, which can streamline the transaction and reduce surprises. Once the sale is complete, discuss post-sale protections for the seller, such as disclosures made and any warranties provided, ensuring their liability is managed. Finally, prioritize safety precautions throughout the listing period. This includes securing valuables during showings, installing lockboxes correctly, and discussing alarm systems. If conducting open houses, ensure the property is safe for visitors and that you have a clear plan for managing access and security. Proactive measures in these areas protect both your clients and your business. The California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, grants California residents significant rights over their personal information collected by businesses, which is highly relevant in real estate transactions, where personal information is broadly defined and widely shared. During a typical transaction, this information is shared with many parties, including real estate licensees, the MLS, internet portals, lenders, title and escrow companies, and other service providers. Under the CCPA, clients have key rights, including the right to know what information is collected and shared, the right to request correction or deletion, the right to opt out of the sale or transfer of their data, and the right to limit the use of sensitive personal information. However, an important limitation applies. Brokers and MLSs are legally required under California law to maintain records for 3 years, regardless of opt-out requests. For more details, direct clients to official state resources. Before we end, and as a final reminder, this video has a written presentation to follow along. Don't forget to download a copy from my training website so you can print it, follow along, study it, and make notes. The link to the training website is on the screen and in the video description. And if you enjoyed this training, be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and always remember to refer clients to an attorney, CPA, or other qualified professional for any specific legal or tax advice. Let's recap the critical takeaways for your practice. First, disclose early. Present the agency disclosure AD at the very outset of any substantive discussion, before any agreement is signed, as legally required. Second, remember commissions are negotiable. Always inform sellers and buyers that compensation is never fixed by law, and meticulously document all agreements in writing. Third, understand that MLS exposure matters. Clearly explain all marketing options to your sellers, and emphasize how opting out can significantly reduce exposure and negatively affect the sale price. Fourth, fair housing is non-negotiable. Apply objective criteria to all clients without exception. Violations can lead to severe consequences, including license suspension, fines, and legal liability. Finally, protect client privacy. Understand CCPA rights, and inform clients exactly how their personal information will be used and shared throughout the transaction.